Hello, I'm Wendy Vogel, and this is The Poetics, readings of contemporary works by emerging poets from around the world, brought to you by Sweetycat Press. Today's episode is co-sponsored by Sharon Frame Gay. Our first poem today is My Father's Eyes by Sheila Henry. Limpid pools of amber lights, they glistened like precious gems in their sockets. I remember them well, those sparkling eyes nesting gracefully in my dad's aged face. Those eyes witnessed many moons, now reflecting gifted wisdom shone on an old man's face, forever smiling, lips in an old man's head, when he shared the beauty his eyes beheld. Once, the eyes of a warrior, a hunter of prey, stalking wildlife and myths in the darkness of night, his headlamp lighting the way. Visions he shared in his stories to us kids, with a hunter's pride and a stutter in his voice. The last time I adored them, it was at Easter. He gazed down from the stair where he sat. His eyes shone bright with admiration while looking at the first and second generations of his seed, adoring his fold. A vision of pride he would forever hold to accompany him on his journey home. And when next I saw him, he had been given his last rites. His body posed in rested pause, while his spirit soared on its final hunt, journeying home. The amber eyes I knew and loved, the windows to his soul, now shut, closed for good. The memory of them I'll always keep, 'cause they once regarded me with love and awe, my father's amber eyes. That was My Father's Eyes by Sheila Henry. Next, we have Connections by Jer White. There are various places on this earth where hearts and souls and minds connect. In several spots around this globe, we can string a line to folks we've known. One such is Lourdes near the Pyrenees, where races of all kinds go on their knees, where crutches are left and people walk tall, where prayers go straight up, no bending at all. Another I've known is outside of L.A., up near the mountains of Sierra Nevada. An Indian burial ground marks out this place, which is saturated in love and joy and grace. Then there is Tara, unique Celtic land, with its green rolling hills that Stone Age folk had planned. That church in the corner hugged close to the soil will soothe a lost soul who would pause there a while. As life passes onwards, I notice some more, and recently by the sea, on this subject I scored. Found that connection beneath twinkling stars, a meeting of universes just where we were. Surreal was that moment, embracing two worlds. Those gone before us smiled where we stood. The stars in the heavens paused just a while. Life here and life yonder were two lips of one smile. That was Connections by Jer White. Our next poem is Avenge the Trees by Sarah Amuche Akpu. Previously, this poem was published in Red Roses on Petals, a collection of poems. I watched Mother hide the seeds under the earth. I had joined her to make the ridge. My little palms had bruised and peeled, but did I mind? It was fun, fun, fun. Every day at dawn, I would perch my little head outside the window to look at the plant, just before Mama calls that we water the plants. I enjoyed it all. It was fun, fun, fun. I grew as the plant grew. My mother called it my twin tree, and I wondered why. I understood better as I got older. The tree grew with me. It was a beautiful fir tree. It had a heart too, and I think we shared that. As I got older, and so did the tree, I would run around it in circles. I love playing around it. Most times when Mama beats me and I come out sad to sit by its roots, I could feel the tree was sad for me, too. Most times when it's too hot in the day, I would hide under the tree. I could feel it laughing at me. When its branches started pulling out as it grew and got bigger, I was happy. The tree was happy, too. On rainy days, the tree was bold as a lion. It would dance and laugh in the rain, throwing its head that way and then this way. From my window, I would watch it and feel for it. But can I help a tree? My young mind wondered. The tree is a lion, so I named it Lion, because it wasn't afraid of anything, not even death. The day the tree died, I had cried my eyes off. I was all grown up now, yet the bond between us never left. The tree was older, too. It doesn't laugh as it used to, or play with me like before. Maybe it was angry with me. I had left town to go to college. I had abandoned it. Its smiles are gone now. It was silent as a mouse now. It no longer throws his tendril leaves at me anymore when I come under its shade. It just sits there like a scared cat. Father must have noticed. That Christmas, he told me the tree had served its purpose. The forest was burnt that year, he lamented. I can't find a tree for Christmas. I am sorry, but Lion has to go. I couldn't stand and watch Lion being cut down. I watched it wince every time the axe landed on it. He had tears all over him, too. I couldn't watch till the end, so I ran. Mama knew I was angry, so the day Lion died, she showed me a spot and made me plant another one. Lion stood beautifully in the middle of our large sitting room. He was decorated all right and lit up to sparkle. I think he was happy, too, and danced with the family. The new tree grew up with my little sister. It doesn't share a bond with me like Lion, but it was with Lucy. The young fir tree was not bold. It was smarter, too. It could read minds at will. It tried to serve us both. I was older now. My tree was gone. I went away to allow Lucy to enjoy her own tree. That was Avenge the Trees by Sarah Amuche Akpu. Next, we'll hear Charlie by Denise O'Hagan, previously published in Other Terrain Journal, Issue 7, 16 June 2019. Every hospital has a Charlie, someone who's slipped through society's cracks and sits obstinately on the outside, a grit in the eye of every passerby and a reproof to government health care. He was sitting there today by the thick glass sliding doors, a great raw trunk of a man, marooned in his chair by bewilderment and swollen ankles, a latter-day Humpty Dumpty. His eyes rake you in as you walk past, slit windows to a private hell, as he wages his daily battle with self-expression, but his sentences dangle, words mangled, limp as the cigarette in his mouth. You nod and smile. It's the least you can do, hoping this tiniest of overtures won't lead to more, then wishing you didn't feel that way, because you know, deep down, irrelevance plays no part in it. There is meaning in the fall of a sparrow, and Charlie has something to tell us. So you plug up the holes in your heart with well-practiced, comforting pity. Blink away the tears in his eyes, and wave goodbye to something in yourself, as you walk on to the rest of your life, scarcely daring to wonder, if things had been different, could you have been him? That was Charlie by Denise O'Hagan. Our final poem today is To My Wife by Lauren Frank Henderson, Jr. Nancy, in my bunk at night I lay, just counting the hours in a day, for soon it will all be over. Then nothing but blue skies and green clover. All the long, lonely nights of the past will end when we are together at last. I think of you and how your beautiful eyes shine when I look at you and lay it all on the line. My love is only for you, and it's nice. I wouldn't change that love for any price. Our love is so wonderful and fulfilling, and will always be, God willing. He has given us something that is beyond compare. He has given us something that only we share. For you, I'll gladly die in this lonely land, because my life is you, and you've given me your hand, and said, Frank, by you I'll always stand. You said, I'll love you for an eternity, and you have, as anyone can see. I am what I am, because you are what you are, and together as one, we can go so far. You've given me yourself, your love, your life, and I thank God that you, Nancy, are my wife. I love you, Nancy. Frank. That was To My Wife by Lauren Frank Henderson, Jr. And that's all for this episode of the Poetics. Thanks again to our generous co-sponsor, Sharon Frame Gay. For Sweetycat Press, I'm Wendy Vogel. Thanks for watching.